Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Let me know in the comment section where you are joining us from. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Mzansi Unfiltered, okay? The unfiltered edition where we go over the Netflix documentary. Why on earth are we doing that, okay? Because court is in session. Now, here's a big, huge secret. I have watched the Netflix documentary, maybe I'll say over 10 times, but this was actually the first time of me watching it as the state has kind of sort of maybe completed their trial. Actually, as Bongani Nicholas. No. Brigadier Bongani Nicholas Gininda has literally gone ahead and done his cross examination. There's a lot of backtracking, there's a lot of backsliding. So I said, you know what, we've got time. Let me go back to the Netflix documentary. And it was purely for entertainment purposes. And Netflix already knows what I like. I'm watching something else that finishes. Next up, it cues in. Go back again and watch the Senzo Meyiwa trial. You know how these platforms work. They want to keep you watching. They want to keep you binging. And I am enjoying this time of relaxation. Okay, guilty confession, but duty calls. So I say, you know what? Let me go back and watch this one more time. One more time won't hurt, especially now that we've heard the statements. We know about Zonizer. We know about Gininda's investigative skills or lack thereof, depending on where you're standing. On this puzzle. Guys, I want to read your comment. You know, there's one thing about me. I don't want to quote someone incorrectly. I always want to make sure I quote someone correctly. And sometimes I have fun with it. Sometimes I get good most of the time I get good comments. And most of the time, and sometimes once in a while I get, astray. This comment perplexed me, shocked me. It left me bewildered. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing in 2025? Using our fingers to type on people's channels and telling them how to govern themselves. But give me a few minutes. I'm going to find that comment. It's quite intriguing. But in the meantime, hello. Okay. I see Nkosazana says, Mkulugutu Parati. Hello. Let me know. Drop a 1 in the comment section. Let me know you can hear me loud and clear because I don't want to go on and on only to find out you can't even hear me. Okay. We're going to get started. Now, if you didn't read the title of the live, which says Netflix review of Senzo Docuseries, oops, that's a typo, statement by Makelani. Guys, if I make a mistake with this name, blame it on the Jocelyn Smith trial because there's a Magalima there. So my brain kind of mixes those two up because it's the same letters just jumbled up a bit here and there. We're going to talk about the Identikit by Amanda Steenkamp, the actual retired though, but she's the actual forensic facial doni expert, okay? The one that Gininda said he's not an expert of. He just looked at those identikits with his eyes, and that is all he needed, okay, to do his job. And then we're going to break down AFRIFORUM. Oh my goodness. We have to do it, okay? We have to do it. It's not my favorite thing to do, but AFRIFORUM, come to the front of the room. We need your urgent attention over here. And of course, we're going to talk about Gininda. Brigadier Bongani and Nicholas Gininda, okay? Not the other brigadier, not the brand new brigadier, not the brigadier who broke the world record by being the youngest brigadier ever. Guys, think about it. Brigadier Bongani Nicholas Gininda has been in the South African Police Services for 30 years. Brigadier Dineo has been in the South African services for a few months and entered inside Palati, and she got the title brigadier right away. Cannot even operate a firearm, doesn't have a firearm license. How does Gininda feel? Comment below. Let me know if you were Gininda, how would you feel? And don't forget, Brigadier has been in the South African service for 30 years. Dineo, okay, Brigadier Dineo is 30 years old. Okay, now I digress. Let me check the comments. Let me make sure everything is looking copacetic over here. Onambo said, I am just going to sit here in the comment section right away and tell Mzansi, I love you. I love you more. Okay, I love you more. Thank you for waiting for the live. And then we have Tafita Inside Pagati within channel member. Thank you so much for your support. Nomvulelo says, I am beyond excited. I am here inside Pagati. Nosipiwo says, hello, Mzansi. Hello. Guys, if you are trying so hard to comment and you're asking yourself, oh my goodness, why can't I comment? I have so much to tell this Mzansi Unfiltered lady. Miss, I digress. Commenting is reserved strictly during a live stream for channel subscribers. Today's the day you make that decision to stop being a ghost of the channel. Hit that subscription button. We're on the road to 100,000 subscribers. When we unlock the 100,000 subscribers, it's just a vanity matrix for a creator to say, oh my goodness, look at this, mom, I've made it. Okay, so help me reach that goal. I want to get that YouTube play button, and I can only do it with you. So stop holding back, hit that subscription button. I would highly appreciate it. I have to tell you something. So here's the comment I mentioned earlier. It says, just be honest and say what you mean. What are you doing? No one thinks you are already on the defensive side, but we listen in court. I will respect you more if you stopped pretending that you are just on the outside looking in. What is happening in this court is not justice, yet you say you want to see justice happening. The state has been caught with their pants down. Now, guys, I want to address this comment because I think it's quite an important comment, and I think that it's important as we dive into this Netflix review that you understand that these are my opinions, okay? And you too are entitled to your opinion. I cannot force you to take my opinion, but I can ask you to go ahead and listen, and then you can make your own intellectual decision, okay? There's no point here where I make you do anything, including subscribing, even though that hurts my heart. I can't make you subscribe. I'd rather you opt in voluntarily. And that's why when I'm live, this is where I cut you off if you are not a subscriber, okay? I responded to this comment and I said, I will respect you more if you stopped pretending. Guys, it's just shocking to me that I'm being labeled as being pretending. If you are a member of this channel, if you're a channel subscriber, you know that I don't just cover the SENZO MEYIWA trial. On some cases, I'm team state. On some cases, I'm team defense. But guys, the reality of it all is I'm just simply team justice. We follow the evidence and then we talk about it. That's it, okay? There's no love lost. Don't take it too personal. And there's no pretending here, okay? This is really who I am and what I stand for. Take it or leave it, okay? If you don't want, there's that huge button. It says subscribe. If you subscribe, hit it. It will say unsubscribe. Go about your merry way. Make sure you block the channel. Don't ever come back. And don't let the door hit you on your way out. And also, this is not a train station. You don't have to announce your departure. I mean, there's some people who say, this is the last time we gotta watch your videos. Why do you have to announce your departure? This is not a train. There are no doors closing, okay? But at the end of the day, I say, I will repeat, as I've always said, even in other trials, my messages remain consistent. I'm on the side of justice. You can then take that info and do as you please with it. However, very important, guys, this is so important. I think it's so important for humanity. Never, ever dictate to me how I should feel. Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's dive into today's live. That is today's public service announcement. Okay, good evening, Jabulile, Vusutando. Okay, I love your name. I'm inside Pagati within. Oh, thank you, Vusutando, for reminding me. How can I forget? Guys, let's just go ahead and do the channel a favor. Hit the like button. Okay, it is absolutely free. I promise you, it doesn't do anything to you. But what it does to me, it gives the channel mileage. It tells YouTube, oh my goodness, we're live. And the people are peopling. They are listening. And they are engaging. They are commenting. I just simply ask you to just hit the like button. It really brings me joy. Absolute joy. And I've taken so much time, okay, to watch Netflix. Oh, I was still saying, before I rudely interrupted myself, I was still saying the title of the video is Netflix review. We're not going to watch the docuseries, okay? I cannot risk my channel and stream the Netflix, okay? I wish we could do a watch party. I wish we could do it. I cannot. can't lose my channel. I can't. Okay. Netflix will come for me with everything they've got and strike me out of here. Okay. And I want to play nice. Okay. I'm the nice girl. Okay. Let me make sure. We've got Botswana inside Pagati within. Hello, Dimpo. Hi, Mzansi Unfiltered. Shakes says, Pagati inside. There you go. Lichtenberg. Wow. Hello. Hi, guys. Pumalanga. Hi. Josie. Yes. Nkuluwudu Limpopo. Oh, guys, let me know if it's cold, how you're watching from Zim, Mrs. R. Good evening, my lady. As it pleases the court. I am indebted to the court. Yes. The famous words of Sipho Ramasipili. He doesn't say them as much anymore. Have you guys noticed that? He's taken a rogue identity, and I love it. Okay, I love it we've got Cape Town. We've got Ebony Park. Oh, thank you, guys. We're pretty much country Tembisa. Oh, Tanzania. Like Tanzania, the one with them Gulugudus Tabo Besta. And Dr. Nandi Pamagudmana decided that was their escape route, and then they were extradited. It was a deportation disguised. It was an extradition disguised as a deportation. Shout out to Tanzania. Thank you for returning our Gulugudus, okay, to our jail cells. They need to be inside Pagati. Thank you for facilitating that process with urgent attention, okay? And then now we're going to be in trouble for that, but that's okay. I was also confused. I nearly corrected you. What are you talking about? What did I do? Let me know. You nearly corrected me? Okay. I think we're good with the intro. Oh, you mean my spelling error? I'm going to fix it later. It's just me, guys. UK, we've got UK in the house. It's just me, guys. Bombela. Okay. All the way from Kimberly. Okay, yay. I'm up to date with all the comments. Let's get into this Netflix series. So how it's going to work, guys. I was just minding my business, watching Netflix because I've got time to myself. And I'm really enjoying this time, okay? But I still miss you guys. And you know what I noticed? I'm starting to see like comments from old videos. So shout out to you. If you're watching some of my old videos, drop a 2 in the comment section because you're the real MVP. You're keeping the channel going. What that does is it plays ads, which means I still make money even if we're on recess. And you know, money keeps the lights on, okay? So make sure you support a girl. So today in our live stream, we're going to cover Senzo, Murder of a Soccer Star. Now, I jumped straight to episode 5. Why? Because the thumbnail was Amanda Steenkamp, and that's literally where we are in the trial. So I said, yeah, let me go right there. The funny part is, guys, since I've watched this Netflix series so many times, I actually had assumed she had taken the stand. Oh my goodness, I'm ashamed of myself. I don't know where my memory got fuzzled up. I had thought she had been inside Pagati within the courtroom, only to realize, no, man, I know her version from Netflix, okay? So since it's on Netflix, therefore it's part, as members of the public jury, we can dissect it. Let's get started. It starts at episode 5. Becky Cele announces the arrest of the 5 accused. AFRIFORUM's private prosecution unit, led by Harry Nell, okay? He believes that the soccer star was assassinated. Now, pay attention to that name, okay? AFRIFORUM, Mr. Nell, Advocate Nell, we got a lot to talk about, and I'm going to break it down. So stay tuned. Make sure you've hit the like button. Make sure you stay till the end, because I'm going to break down a lot of things about AFRIFORUM. And also say a prayer for me, guys, okay? Now, so Jerry Nell, he believes that the soccer star was assassinated, and he is assisting the family to get to the truth. So it's unclear to me as I'm watching this when the family, I would say the family as a unit, that is Senzo Meyiwa and the sisters, when they incorporated or went out to AFRIFORUM and asked them for their help. I don't have timeline on that. So I don't know when that happened. That's unfortunate because I think it plays a huge role in this timeline of this breakdown that I'm going to do. So if you can get that information for me and you know when AFRIFORUM became part of this case, let me know in the comment section down below, okay? Now, Here is what Advocate Jerry Neal says. I think the police have a strong case against the 5 accused that they have arrested. This was an assassination. I wonder what they would say now on Today O'Clock. I wonder if they would still stand with these words. Drop a 4 in the comment section down below if you believe that the police have a strong case against the 5 accused that they have arrested. The 5 accused being Mzansi Unfiltered, Danzi, Prince Gadla, Ncube, Mthokoziseni, Mapisa, and of course, Fisawihle and Tuli. Okay. Ooh, you guys have to catch my next live because it's going to be about Fisawihle and Tuli. Him actually speaking. Oh my goodness, I got so excited. But then this was at the time, it was 6 years after the murder of SENZO MEYIWA. And it's the 27th of October 2020. They're at the Boksburg Magistrate Court, and that is their very first ever court appearance. Okay, so this Netflix docuseries, how can I put it? It's just literally a bunch of compilation of stuff that happened in the media. So it doesn't really follow things in chronological order, for example, and some of the stuff they skip over, okay? But as members of the public jury, we know that when they went to Boksburg Magistrate Court, it was their first appearance. But you know that if you're arrested for a crime, you must appear inside Pagati within the magistrate court within 48 hours. It is your constitutional right. Now, Muzi, okay, was arrested in May, never went to no magistrate court, okay? Danzi was arrested on the 16th of June 2020. So I want us to come together. 16th of June, 16th of July, 16th of August, 16th of September, 16th of October. A good 4 months plus an extra 2 weeks where Danzi was arrested, and his constitutional rights to have his charges presented to him in front of a magistrate within 48 hours were broken. But who is out there, speaking up about that? It's just something that is ignored. His constitutional rights were ignored, but we're going to park that, okay? We'll cover that in a separate video. Netflix doesn't cover that, okay? They skip right past that little bit of information. Then the Netflix documentary says, 6 years since the murder of the football captain, SENZO MEYIWA, police have made a breakthrough and arrested 5 suspects believed to be involved in the hit. 3 of them were already in prison for other crimes. Underline that, okay? If you have a highlighter, highlight that, okay? 3 of them were already in prison for other crimes. That is accused number 3, 4, and 5. Prince, Mapisa, and Fisawihle and Tuli. And let me tell you, all 3 of them, Mgulugudus, okay, per their cases, okay, this is not my opinion. Per their cases and what they've been convicted of is being Mgulugudu, okay, hitman of the hitman, okay. I got to see a photo of Prince Gadla's hitman, the taxi that, like, there were so many bullets, okay, released on that taxi. It was incredible, but we are not there, okay? They were already in prison for other crimes. They just said, you know what, just add the 3 to the docket, okay? Let's beef it up. Let's make it look pretty. Let's make it look nice. Let's give this case the attention that it deserves because, of course, it is the unaliving of a soccer star, okay? Now, there is a journalist, investigative journalist. His name is Mzansi wa Africa, okay? He's part of this documentary, and he speaks a lot inside Pagati within. Shout out to 227 of you in the building. Thank you so much. But have you liked the video? No? Have you liked the live? Now that is what matters. Now, okay, so the journalist, okay, Mzansi wa Africa, he says, and when I started looking at these guys, that they're arrested, they have criminal history, and then I discovered some of these guys are serious hitmen, okay? They have been doing this for years. These guys are not like your altar boys. These guys are hardcore hitmen, okay? I have received comments over and over again that how dare you support hitmen? These are Nkabis, okay? Why are you on the side of Mgulugudus? I'm not on the side of Mkalologists. I'm listening to the evidence. So here we have an actual investigative journalist. I'm not a journalist. I'm not an investigative journalist. I'm not a inside Pagati the Saps. I'm literally just a YouTuber, okay, who just watches and listens and then says, that sounds very funny. Anyway, so he's an investigative journalist. And for me, it feels like, based on this statement, he says, these are not your altar boys. I absolutely love that, by the way. I might steal that statement. These are not your altar boys. These are hardcore hitmen. And it gives me a sense of they have already been prejudged. They have been already convicted as guilty, okay, in the opinions of this journalist. And it feels to me like they were added to the docket. So we have Umozisiwe accused number one. And then we have Ubongani Danzi. And then we've got these hardcore hitmen, okay? One of them sat in a car in the park and didn't join in on the pew-pewing. But you know what? We are not there. I guess it was his day off. He felt like an altar boy that day. Okay, so the next scene, we go into Usipo Ngwema. He is the former NPA spokesperson, and he says one or two of the accused did make a confession. One or two? Do you know or don't you know? Okay. One or two of the accused did make a confession to a magistrate with his information with regards to what happened. Things that took place at the villages in KwaZulu-Natal. Shout out to KZN. Is anyone joining us from KZN? Because I feel like this feels like it's like a Shaka Ilembe scene and everything is happening in KZN, but then surprisingly, it's being tried over there in Pretoria. If it was tried in KZN, maybe, Nkwananzi would take care of business and this would be done. By the way, speaking of being done, do you guys realize that the Didi trial started and ended within a matter of weeks? There's already a verdict. Meanwhile, the Senzo Meyiwa trial, we are still in the state's case where Gininda is still talking endlessly, okay? Rumor has it that right now he is preparing his next version, what he's going to say and what he's going to backtrack on. But we are not there, okay? So, these are things that took place at the villages in KwaZulu-Natal. Meetings that took place there. So that is the evidence that is before the prosecutors right now. And that is the evidence that has led to the arrest. Remember, this is in October, okay? The scene is playing in October 2020. And at that time, right, let's go to what we know inside Phakathi Judge Rata's court. Sizwe Zungu, okay, popularly known on this channel as Zungunaiza, okay? He comes and tells his Nganewani, to me that remains so incredible that the NPA said, yeah. Let's take this. This is a great statement. Let's go ahead. These are the people. Okay, Zungu, who are they? How do you know them? Oh, you're related to them? Oh, you know his mother? Yes, let's arrest them. Let's just go right ahead and arrest them. We need to arrest, at this point, we need to arrest anyone because the people and the Meyiwa family are still asking so many questions and we, the South African Police Services, just simply can't figure it out. Now, let's continue down the line, okay? There's a journalist, he's Mlungu as well in the series, and he says, okay, it was like fireworks going off. I mean, it's like now you're chasing the story because the arrest has happened, okay? They're chasing the story. Every single news outlet, media, and Don, okay, all of them, okay, are all running because there is an arrest of 5 accused, okay? And it came out of nowhere. Remember, it just happened, jiggy, we've got 5 accused. So he says, it was like fireworks going off. I mean, it's like now you're chasing the story. My editors were phoning me and saying, we need to know who they are, where they are coming from, what exactly have they done, and what were they arrested for previously? What are their previous arrests, okay? And what were they found guilty of? What do they know? And you just knew that every single media house in the country, whether it was radio, TV, online, print, everybody before, but then, YouTubers, we were not inside Phakathi like that, okay? Everybody was chasing the story. But now, shout out to YouTube channels because those are the real MVPs, in my opinion. Okay, I might be biased. Okay, I'll let you label me as biased for that one. Okay, so the series goes on and it says, Senzo Meyiwa's brother. He says, I also do have advocate advocate Jerry Nail, okay, with me. Of the 5 people that are arrested, some of them are already well, some of them were in the house when Senzo Meyiwa was shot. So we know, according to Judge Rotter's court, that is accused number 2, Ubongani Danzi, shame on him. And accused number 3, okay, the gun toddling, accused number 3, Umthobisi Gadla, oh, the gold-toothed gun toddling, Umthobisi Gadla. That's what we know from the court, okay? Now, Senzo, there's a scene where Senzo Meyiwa's mother speaks and she says, I will have peace when justice is served. I trust AFRIFORUM. Underline that, okay? I trust AFRIFORUM because Sfiso went to them. They are white. White people can't be bought. I trust they will do the job. My trust is in AFRIFORUM. And the Meyiwa family says it just wants closure and justice. And you know what? Let's pause on that for a second. I do not blame the Meyiwa family. Okay, remember this is about 6 years in. I think it's from a place of desperation, and I mean desperation in a good way. Desperation in just wanting to have answers. Imagine knowing that your son has passed away. There were other people in the house, not strangers. Those are his friends, his baby mama, the baby mama's sister, the baby mama's mother, his friends, Tumelo Madlala, Toro. And then there was this one, Longwe Twala. Okay, Longwe Twala for me is the cherry on the cake. I mean, he's like loved by the NPA. Okay, advocate George Baloyi wants him untouched. Okay, Longwe Twala is the real untouchable in South Africa. Okay. But we'll get into that. Let's not digress, okay? So the next scene has the advocate over there at the AFRIFORUM, Mr. Nail, okay? And then this is what he says. And I'm just going to take time to say exactly what he says. And then we're going to discuss it, okay? We're going to pause and discuss. So he says, after the discussion we had with Sifiso, my first thought was the people inside the house must be involved. Perfect, Jerry. You're on the right track. Love it for you. Okay. And because of who they are being protected by South African police services. Drop a 5 in the comment section if you agree with that statement. He then goes on to say, I said, let us see and make up our minds once the case docket is made available. Remember, when you're arrested, you're just arrested, okay? They don't tell you, they just give you, they read you your rights, and they just tell you we're arresting you for corruption and fraud. They don't give you your case docket. You don't know who the witnesses are. You're basically like surprised with an arrest, and in Boyan Danzi's case, you're kept behind bars for 4 months illegally, okay? You don't know what happens until you get to court, and then it's disclosures, and then they give this, the NPA, the state gives your docket now over to the defense, and then you as an arrested and together with your lawyer can now prepare your defense, and then dates are set. Okay, now I said let us see and make up our minds once the case docket is available. When I read through the docket, that was my mindset. Okay, that's fair. So he went in open-minded. I love that. I'm also very open-minded on any trial until, you know, the facts are presented. And he says, let's see. Let the police deliberately not deal with something. Let them try and hide something. So he went in with that perception that, you know what, maybe the police are going to deliberately not deal with something. They're going to try and hide something. Long way. But, you know, he went in open-minded, cautiously so. Okay. Now, at this particular moment, he goes on and he says, from my reading of the case docket, I'm convinced that the people inside the house are not part of a big conspiracy. Can you imagine that? A whole AFRIFORUM. So who are you guys to now say that the people inside the house are part of the conspiracy? AFRIFORUM declares out loud with their chest and says, from my reading of the case docket, I am convinced that the people inside the house are not part of a big conspiracy, that they have killed him inside the house and then conspired to lie and work on a big story, just like these YouTubers like to say. Okay? That's not my impression. They took statements from everybody, they being the police. Okay? Anybody that ever wanted to give a statement, they filed a statement in that case docket. So there are hundreds of irrelevant statements in the case docket. I think it was stuck, the case. I think the case was stuck because there were no real leads. So guys, imagine this. There are hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds. Hundreds. Do you hear me? Hundreds of statements in that docket. Anyone, everybody was permitted, even you and I. Okay, we can also do a statement. Anybody at the time, after the unaliving of SENZO MEYIWA, could go and give their statement. But do you know which statements they pulled out of those hundreds upon hundreds of statements? The statement of two men who were in the neighborhood. Conveniently, they've died. Okay, if you know who they are, drop their names in the comment section down below. Now, let's continue on. Okay, it says, Umzilikazi Africa, he says, the breakthrough for me happened when AFRIFORUM started doing their own investigation. Okay, and then there's a Mlungu journalist, I forgot to write down his name. He says, because of this huge media hype, I mean, the cops were throwing absolutely at this point. Okay, everything at it. The cops were really working hard. The police pulled together a task team. You guys know the task team. Let me know in the comment section the members of the task team of highly experienced officers in November 2019. Okay, so again, I don't know when SENZO MEYIWA went to AFRIFORUM, but I know that the task team, okay, led by Brigadier Bongani Nicholas Gininda, in his own account of events, started in November 2019, and we were assigned by the National Police Commissioner. Okay, I was handpicked. Do you guys know what it is to be handpicked by the National Police Commissioner? I don't blame Gininda for his pride around this. Okay, I cannot possibly blame the man. 1 second, let me just check on some of the stuff we've got to do over here. Let me just check. Sorry, I got to monitor one screen. Make sure that we are doing good. Oh, let me check the comments. I've been inside Pagati within, deep within my own world. Let me check how you guys are doing. Are you guys following? Is everything making sense? How is my pace doing? Let me see how you guys are commenting. Shout out, Docus is here. Docus, channel member. Thank you so much. Pamzo, channel member. Thank you guys. Shout out to our channel members. Okay, you're the real MVPs. Okay, because you support the channel not just with a like and subscription, but you said, you know what, let me open my wallet and let me help Mzansi Unfiltered bring this content to us. Thank you so much for the support. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Thank you so much. Right now, our next, I think it's going to be the 21st of July. I'm going to get a better mic, guys, so our sound is going to sound better. Our studio is coming along. Okay, we're doing it 1 month at a time. Then we have got, I want to see Inside Pagati, Pologwane. I can't wait. Inside Rio? No, come on, really? Shout out to Rio in the house. Okay, let's not forget to press the like button. Thank you. Dumalan, UK Inside Pagati within. I'm just quickly scrolling the comments, guys. There we go. Okay. Did I make a mistake in Makalima? I always make this mistake, guys. So this is my public disclaimer for every video, past, future, present. My tongue is used to saying Umagalima, okay? But then over here, it's not Umagalima, okay? It's a male character that was conveniently placed in the docket, but we are not there. We'll talk about it. We're going to cover that before the end of this live stream. And if you're in Gulugudu who's just watching and not subscribing, come on now, hit that subscription button. Okay. I'm gonna keep going because it looks like you guys are here. I have liked the video, my lord. There we go. This is what I like to see. As the court pleases. Yes, shout out to Senzo Meyyiwa. Okay, namesake of the deceased. I like it. Actually, I love it. Thank you. As the court pleases, that's all we ask, guys. Just hit that like button, okay? That's how it helps us. Oh, look at that. We're 262 people in the house. Where is my cowbell? I may not have many cows. We don't know. Okay. But let's go on. Let's continue. Okay. Guhle says, wait, I like this comment so much. I'm gonna save it. Guhle says they can say whatever they want to say. I'm team defense. We can't be fooled by Gininda and Baloyi. And one question I have: why judge can't make a ruling to bring Longwe in his courtroom? The judge can only make that ruling at the end. So if the defense also doesn't call him and the judge is not biased and he's fair and he wants to hear from Longo himself, the judge can actually call him at section Dondoni and the judge can now start to call witnesses. So yes, it's unfortunately this is a Senzo Meyiwa trial. There's no end date. Okay, this is the never-ending case. Okay, even Judge Emoji's case is about to end. Okay, they are now even in the defense case before even the Senzo Meyiwa trial enters the defense case. Can you guys believe it? How ridiculous that is? Wow. Anyway, let me see where else we are. Ooh, Docus, I just saw it. Thank you for supporting the channel. Absolutely, it means the world to me. And I'm gonna read better. Okay, there's motivation to continue on. Bali says, "Hi, my lady. I'm inside parity." Okay, I think I'm up to date. Let's continue. Because guys, I promise you, it gets even more interesting. Remember, the key word here is AFRIFORUM. Okay. Anytime, if you're distracted, if you're washing dishes, if you're playing on your phone, if you're scrolling through something else, just when you hear me say AFRIFORUM, pay close attention, okay? I promise you, I'm bringing you some breaking news today, okay? So, I am sorry. Gutle says, I am sorry. I am saying because Loma's name has been mentioned several times in Judge Rutta's court. Well, if it was Judge Ndim's courtroom, Judge Ndim would be like, bring him forward now, immediately. It's urgent, okay? But it's Judge Rutta's courtroom. He's afraid, okay, of being called a racist, okay? He's afraid of many things, so he doesn't take action. And besides, he's a retired judge. He doesn't really have much commitment to this case, if you know what I mean, okay? Let's continue. I see a brand new member. Raymond, you deserve a comment. Thank you so much. Welcome on board. Welcome to the family. Oh, that's so exciting. Okay, let's get back into this Netflix and done. Okay, so Mzansi Africa, he says, when AFRIFORUM was comfortable with this new team, the team of Gininda, Makubo, Butelezi, Mahola, that team. Yeah. I'm not sure if it was before or after the team disintegrated. Okay. Before or after Warrant Officer Makubo decided, you know what? I'm opening docket 375 because Gininda's not listening to me. Okay, I'm a rogue warrant officer at this point. But so he says, Africa, he says, when AFRIFORUM was comfortable with this new team, they started sharing information with them. So it was in that sharing of info when the case was cracked. Do you guys want me to read it one more time? I think I'll read it one more time, okay? Ziliga Africa, he's the investigative journalist that is featured heavily in the Netflix docuseries. I didn't even ask you guys. Did I ask you guys? Have you watched the Netflix series? Let me make it a poll. One second. Let me do it as a poll so you guys can do it in the chat. Ooh. Have you watched Netflix docu-series Senzo? The Murder of a Soccer Star. Yes or no? Yes. No. Okay, I've done the poll. It's going to be there. It's going to play and then we'll cover the poll in a second, just so I gauge where we are. Okay. So what happens next? What happens next? Wait. Oh, look at Raymond. Look at Raymond. Raymond is Mkulugutu. Okay. Thank you, Raymond. Raymond sent Mzansi Unfiltered. Wait, sent 5. Yay! I don't know who the 5 are. Let me see. Tembelani Kanye, Petro, Tando. Ooh, you guys were gifted. Paulina. Welcome. This is exciting. Thank you, Raymond. Oh, Raymond didn't just come in as a member. He says, I want to come with my friends. I've got friends, Danzi Unfiltered, that I want to come and bring on board. This is exciting. Oh my goodness. Very, very exciting. What? Thank you so much. That is just wow. That is, oh my God, I just have to pause. That is so nice. I'm glad I saw it pop up on my screen. Oh, I feel so emotional right now. Highly appreciate it. Okay, let's get back to what Muziwa Africa was saying about AfriForum, okay? It's not me who's saying all this, guys. It's all on Netflix. It's a public. I'm just reacting to what I heard when I should have been minding my business. So he says, when AfriForum was comfortable, remember AfriForum was brought on board by Senzo Meyiwa and his family, okay? When the family were all in agreement that AfriForum, yay, they're the champions here, they're going to do this for us, okay? We know now that Senzo Meyiwa has, digressed away from AfriForum, but other family members still with AfriForum. So they're kind of divided on that. So remember, excuse me, this commentary, let me drink some water. This commentary, my coffee is cold now. This commentary is literally based, we're in 2019. So make sure you're in the right timeline. Okay, we've teleported to 2019. I always feel that's important, and I feel if you're a team state or if you're part of the NPA, I feel this is where you guys struggle. And as a nation, okay, as members of the public jury, it's quite embarrassing that you guys don't take those kind of things into consideration. For example, WhatsApp did not have phone calls in 2014. Okay. If you were creating this in Ganewane, you should have said it was a FaceTime call for people with Apple devices. It would have made sense. We wouldn't have questioned you. But then you said it was a WhatsApp call, and that was the end of that. We didn't believe you. Okay. Also, what else? The gold tooth, the grills, my lord, and the grills. The grills did not exist in 2014, and grills do not exist as a one. Okay, because you said it's one gold tooth, not many gold teeth. But we are not there. We're digressing. We're back on AfriForum. So Umziligazo Africa, the investigative journalist, he says, when AfriForum was comfortable, so they didn't trust the SAPs. But when they were now comfortable with this brand new, nice and shiny team, you know how brand new things are. Like your Christmas dresses, okay? Those dresses are nice and shiny, or your Sunday best. The nice things are always nice and shiny until you kind of say, I was wrong about that, okay? So when AfriForum was comfortable with this brand new team of Gininda, Mahola, Buthelezi, I don't know if Buthelezi and Makubo are part of the statement, so I don't know. I can't say for certain. They don't tell us. So when AfriForum was comfortable with this new team, they started sharing information with them. So AfriForum was doing their own private investigation, and the police were doing their own private investigation. And then when there was now this new, nice, shiny task team of highly experienced officers, I don't know where that statement came from, because if you mean highly experienced officers, like what Gininda tells us, that he only used his eyes, and that DNA of Mapisa, even though it doesn't read him, it reads him. Do you understand? What do you mean highly experienced officers? And I think that is relative, and we should take it, with a grain of salt. And I think the mistake that a lot of people make, should I say this out loud, or should I just keep it for my members only section? I'm going to say it out loud anyway, because you guys are here, 282 of you are here, and you guys have liked the video, right? Okay, I'm going to say it anyway. Oh, we're now 294. Oh, can we get to 300? I'm going to say it anyway, but technically I speak more unfiltered and freely in the member side. I don't know if it's because it's AfriForum that AfriForum that has people that are the color of our palms, that it is assumed that things will be better. Was the Meyiwa family wrong to make that assumption? I'm going to say no, they were not wrong because the state wasn't providing them anything. Um, Remember, when it's a charge of unaliving, it's the state that is responsible. It's very different from a divorce. A divorce is one spouse and the other spouse going against each other. But because this is an unaliving case, the state takes over because the unalivers have broken the laws of the state. So it's not really even the Meyiwa's case, if I'm being honest, if we speak in legal terms. It's the state. The state doesn't like law breaking, so the state takes over the investigation. So when AfriForum was doing their investigations and they became comfortable with what information they had, they now started to share that information with Brigadier Bongani Nicholas Gininda. Brigadier Bongani Nicholas Gininda has never once mentioned this on the stand. He only told us that it was a prosecutorially led investigation, okay? But he never, ever, ever said, and then we worked with AfriForum. He only told us that he briefs AfriForum. But here, Mzansi Africa says AfriForum was comfortable with the new team and they started sharing information with them. Now, if you think that Mzansi Africa is wrong or he misunderstood something, let's just hear it straight from Jerry's mouth, shall we? He says, we immediately picked up there were people in the team that understood us. Doesn't that sound exciting? There's a team now. There's a new team and they understand us, okay? Why should they understand you? But you know what? We're not there. And then he says, and we could work with them. And that we immediately picked this up. And you know what? Gininda was in that team. You can even hear the excitement in his voice. Gininda then became our liaison. English is failing me there. Okay, Gininda became our liaison and the main investigator in the matter. Think about it, okay? Brigadier Bongani Nicholas Gininda was not a brigadier then. I haven't fact checked, but I need to check when he actually became a brigadier. And that is essential that we check that because we know in the other Gulugutu case where the brigadiers and major generals and lieutenant generals are arrested and out on bail. The other one can't be out on bail because he hired a lady of the night and then she put something in his drink and then she stole his laptop and his gun and very naughty lady of the night. Very, very naughty. She shouldn't be out there. But you know what? She went to work with her tools of the trade. And if her tools involve putting things in people's drinks so she can shop in their houses, who am I to judge her? Who am I to judge her? What we should judge is the major general who hired her and took her home. Why did you take her home? You know what? Let me stay out of people's bedrooms. Otherwise, we're going to go to the Benengwe case and then we're going to talk about the emojis and the alleged dun that they did in the office that the secretary is denying. I mean, Donald Trump was not wrong. Strange things are happening in South Africa. But let's go back to this Netflix documentary. So he's so excited that Brigadier, well, he wasn't a brigadier then. Let's just say Gininda. Gininda became part of the team and he was the main investigator, okay? Then Mzansi Africa says, so for me, both AfriForum and Gininda must be given credit because they both worked tirelessly to solve this case. I'm going to take a drink and read your comments. I want to hear what you guys are saying so far. Woo! Kuningi, right? Kuningi. Or am I over imagining things? Should I just mind my business and just watch the show and stop overreading into things? Let me see what your comments say. Woo! Giving the lead all the time, Pagati in the court. Oh, yes. Don't play with Gininda and his role, okay? Shout out to the lady of the night. She was working. I believe she was working. And, she can't be blamed because she went to work with the tools of her trade. He just went to work with a lady of the night, which he shouldn't have been doing. But you know what? I don't want to judge people in their bedroom needs, okay? I was team Judge Ndim. I'm telling you, if we could just borrow Judge Ndim just for a week, guys, this case would move forward by months. Okay? This comment says, Vusutanda says, I wonder if Jerry Nail and Umziligazi where are they? Okay, call them, call them, call them. I wish, we could ask them for a current. I'm going to send him an email. I'm going to send him an email. I'm going to ask them for an updated opinion on their opinion. Are you still on the same page? Are you still following the trial? Where do you stand on this and done? Because, oh my goodness. What Guche says, we've got no time for watching Uncle Tom throwing up his hands, pulling out his glasses. Why does he wear his glasses after his nose? Like, for me, that's so confusing. And then he pushes them back onto his eyes. Waitumelo says, that brigadier was born with the profession. Yes. Can you imagine being born? When other children are born, okay? Some of them are dedicated to the Lord. Okay, she was told when she was born, I don't know if it was prophesied that you will be a brigadier one day. The father said, don't worry, my child. Okay, don't worry, I'll take care of you. And now she's in jail. My father I wouldn't let him rest if I had to go to jail because of his doings. The brigadier was born with the profession. That's why she even forgot the gun license. Can you imagine everybody in that office? How embarrassing. What a shame. Adam says, every evening, can't wait to hear your sweet voice and keep me updated. But I really feel for these guys as I was also wrongly arrested once. I'm sorry to hear that. And I know how they feel. Good show. Okay. Thank you. Keep it up. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about your situation, but this is some of the reasons that I keep doing these videos, because I know that there are other cases that are not documented, that are not. I gotta find my phone. My phone is ringing somewhere. No, it is not Mzansi Unfiltered Africa or anybody else. I gotta turn this off. So sorry. Bye. Did I hang up? Yes. Sorry, guys. I gotta put this on Do Not Disturb because we were so rudely distracted with that one. Do Not Disturb. My family hates it when I do this, but it is what it is. We're working over here at Mzansi Unfiltered. Yay! Okay, Uncle Tom wants us to enjoy his pension. Okay, Uncle Tom wants to enjoy his pension. That's why he's taking such decisions. Otherwise, I tag. Huh? Wait, let me read it over here. Otherwise, I tag Izolenga. Oh, I tag Izolenga. Okay. Hi, Docus, says Waitumelo. What is he doing there? We don't want a retired judge. Okay, perfect. We can get back on it. Okay, the comments are commenting. Thank you so much for your support, family. Okay, what are your thoughts on AFRIFORUM so far? Okay, AFRIFORUM has teamed up with Gininda, but it has never been mentioned at all inside that courtroom. Why? I find that so peculiar, especially after we've had to sit through Gininda's thousands of words explanations. He never mentioned them once, not a single day. He's actually pretty much ignored them, pretending taking all the glory and the fame. Excuse me. He's taking all the glory and the fame. Okay. So Nzilegazi says, so for me, both AFRIFORUM and Gininda must be given credit because they both worked tirelessly to solve this case. Okay, yay! And then AFRIFORUM says, we should congratulate. You see what? AFRIFORUM is a genius, okay? Mzansi says we have to congratulate both AFRIFORUM and Gininda, but Advocate Nell says, no. We should congratulate the police. They've arrested people. What do you mean they've arrested people? What were you expecting them to arrest? Cows? Goats? What do you mean they've arrested people? Anyway, so then the other Mlungu journalist, he says, a new team of investigators starts going through all the old dockets. They go through the old investigators' diary books, the entry books, the interview books, and lo and behold, they come across information. Okay. Advocate Neil says the focus shifted to a hit or a contractual killing. And then there was a breakthrough. Umzilikazi wa Africa says police, they got a tip-off that one of the suspects was somewhere in Tembisa. Shout out to Tembisa. I know you're here in the comment section. Okay. Accused number one in this matter, Mzansi was arrested in Tembisa at a car wash. So Mzansi is the one who kind of sets this chain of events going. Okay. And then Jiggy, the 27th of October 2020, they're inside Pagati, the Boksburg Magistrate Court. And then the magistrate, Mr. Magistrate, asked them, do you want legal aid? Mzansi is accused number one. He's the first one. Okay, he's accused number one. So he raises his hand to speak and he says, yes, we want legal aid. But first, there is something we want to tell the court. I repeat. Mzansi said inside that Boksburg Magistrate Court, there is something we want to tell the court, and the court immediately cuts him off, and he says, the question is, do you want legal representation or not? I don't care what you want to tell me. Do you want legal representation or not? Mzansi is shut down at that point. Do you remember when the Brigadier Bongani Nicholas Gininda, okay, now in present day court, he said, you know, it's all these accusations of being tortured. Why was this never said to anyone? Do you guys remember that? Hello, Mr. Magistrate said, we do not care. Okay, we do not care. All I need to know is your legal representation. If you go back to the Boksburg Magistrate Court videos, it was a tiny little courtroom. It was in the middle of the pandemic. Everybody was wearing masks. Brigadier Gininda was in there. Who else was there? Him, Mchiako, okay? Famous, infamous, him. He was there in the flesh. And it was a tiny court. It was packed. It was packed. They refused to go into the dock, so they're standing on the side of the dock, and they're just trying to tell Mr. Magistrate, man, we don't know anything. Guys, don't forget, these are known hitmen. Well, 3, 4, and 5 are known hitmen. They're altar boys. They're nowhere near altar boys. They're already arrested. They have life sentences. They're already convicted, okay, serving their time. Why would they bother themselves with such a display? Why? They're already arrested. They're already going to prison anyway. Why would they bother themselves by refusing to go into the dock? I'm going to leave that food for thought for you. Mzansi, this guy who was just arrested in a car wash in May, on the 30th of May, if I got the dates right, he's arrested. He's arrested, and then Jiggy, months later, they finally get to go to a magistrate. And Gininda is saying, we never got a single report that there was any issue, okay? And then now, who is refusing or working extremely hard not to do the inspection in loco? Do you see what is motivating George Baloyi? And I can say it with my chest. What is motivating George Baloyi to go against a judge's court ruling? Going against a court ruling is like breaking the law. Baloyi is willing to break the law. Well, he's broken it because he didn't do it. He didn't do the inspection in loco arrangements. Instead, he made arrangements for a photographer to go and take aerial shots that nobody asked for. So shout out to the defense for ignoring him. But let's go back to where we were going with this, okay? Africa says, days after accused number one, Mzansi, was arrested, the police went to Carltonville. And then they arrested accused number 2 at the mine where he was working. So that's how the cookie crumbles. Because first, they got accused number 1, who pointed fingers at accused number 2, who then made a confession before a magistrate. And in that confession, the guy opened up and sort of snitched on the others, which is 3, 4, and 5. Now, City Press newspaper reports, it was quite groundbreaking that, they've arrested this Bongani Danzi character, okay? City Press newspaper reports that Ebongani Danzi made confessions to a magistrate claiming that the Meyiwa's unaliving was a hit. The preparations of the hit were concluded at Foslorus Hostel, the hostel that Baloyi is so afraid of, okay, that he needs it evacuated for this, what is it called? For this inspection in loco to happen. Do you know the funny thing about Baloyi? I mean, even though he just did the aerial shots, it's so ridiculous because that hostel is right in front of the Foslorus police station. So it means they're always evacuating them then. Then why build a police station in front of a hostel? And then say you're afraid of it. So it means that police station is ineffective because them gulugudus are guluguting inside that hostel. Okay. Mzilikazi of Africa, he then goes on to say, according to Bongani's confession, after these guys were hired to unalive Senzo, they met at the hostel. They all met in one room where the planning for the murder was done. Everyone was there from the hostel. They then drove to Foslorus in 2 cars. What? What do you mean 2 cars? That's not what they said in court. Now, do you see how different the version is from what's on Netflix and what's inside Pagati the court? Did it evolve from the time of the court and the time of the brigadier being on the stand? To me, it sounds like what Umzilikazi Africa is saying here. This is Zumunaiza's statement. That's what it sounds like to me. But Zumunaiza never wrote his statement. This is so interesting. So he must have had like an insight into the docket unofficially. I think he had unofficial eyes on the docket. Yeah. Then the series goes on and it says, the confession says the gunman staked out at the Kumalo's house in Foslorus on Sunday. Then Umzilikazi Africa says they parked their car. First it was 2 cars, but now it's 1. Suddenly there's 1 car. We don't know how it turns to 1 car. We don't know how it merged. The story doesn't make sense, okay? Umzilikazi Africa says they then parked their car next to the park. No, sorry. Yeah, they then parked their car next to the park and walked to the house. There's a danger box. They sat on the danger box. Remember, these are not altar boys. Why are they sitting on a danger box? Why are they driving and then let's just sit on a danger box? That sounds ridiculous to me. And this is at night. Remember, the crimes that they did, they all unalived those taxi bosses in broad daylight. This one is at night, and then they want to sit on a danger box, and then they're driving 2 cars, and then all of a sudden they're not driving 2 cars. They're driving 1 car, and then they sit on this danger box. What are they waiting for? Oh, don't get me started on the 2 witnesses, okay? So picture this. These Ngologotors, okay, these hitmen, accused number 3, 4, and 5. We know they're professional hitmen. They've done these hitting things for a while, okay? And they do the pew-pews, okay? Especially when I saw the vehicle that they allege accused number 3 unalived the guy, that was like probably over 200 bullets released on that vehicle, okay? You tell me this guy decided that, you know what, before I go in with my gold tooth and my dreadlocks and my brown jacket with the woolen collar, I just want to sit on a danger box. At least if they say they sat on the danger box and then they smoked a little bit, I would say, okay, maybe he needed, to get his smoke in. They don't even tell us that. For me, that's a little bit shaky in that story. But let's continue on, okay? They sat on that danger box. And then according to the confession by Ubongani Danzi, this is where it gets really funny. He entered the house. He asked for cell phones and money. And when Senzo Meyiwa threw a chair at them, wait for it, Danzi unalived. Danzi is the one who had the firearm. According to this Netflix documentary, okay? When Danzi is the one who unalived Senzo Meyiwa, and then they fled the scene in a waiting getaway car. This is the version of Netflix. We didn't know that Ubongani Danzi is the one who took the shot. We thought it was accused number 3, but Netflix has the budget. So Netflix version is that it was Ubongani Danzi. Definitely Brigadier doesn't bring this part up. Now, Umzilikazi Africa says, so from the main road, you can drive to the hostel, which is not far from the scene. They ran back to the same room where the planning was done. That's where it was decided, now the job is done. Let's all go our different ways and we will get paid after. I don't know how the business of being a hitman works, but I know if I'm about to do a hit for you, you're just going to have to give me my money in advance, okay? I can't be trying to find you afterwards and you sending me a picture of a bag of money, and that's enough proof for me to go and unalive someone, especially a national goalkeeper, after he's done amazing goals on Saturday. I just can't picture it. For me, that doesn't make any sense. So we have 2 versions right here. Okay, Ubongani Danzi is the one who shot and unalived SENZO MEYIWA, and then they ran and went into the getaway car. The other version is they ran all the way, okay, from the Kumalo house. I need to see how far that distance is. Man, these are athletes, okay? If you thought Advocate Omnisi Wemvula is an athlete, oh my goodness, no, okay? No. There are other athletes here. They are called Mgulugudus. They ran all the way from the Kumalo house all the way back to the hostel. And then when they got in the hostel, they said, you know what, we'll meet next time. Let's just all go our separate ways. And then we'll meet next time and then we will distribute the money. Does Fisolushin Tuli look like a guy who can wait for his money? I think he will unalive you for making him wait for his money. That's what I think. Let me do a quick check of our comment section. One second. Oh, channel member Tembelani says, hi, Mzansi family. Hello. Yes, thank you, Raymond. You are getting the thanks. Good evening, Devoho. I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back. Good evening, Mzansi. Please show us your face. Don't be like a ratter's witness at the I feel attacked. Please show us. I feel so attacked at this one. Please show us your face. Do you guys know that I actually have a whole channel, another channel, where I show my whole face? I have no problem showing my face. It's just the branding for this channel that I decided for it to be faceless. So it builds onto the mystery so that these stories represent the people, not me, okay? But you can always find me. You can always find me on my actual channel. I'm there. Full face every time, I think. Yeah, all my videos. Yeah, I do full faces over there. The challenge is for you to find it. So, okay. Let me see. Let me make sure. I am Team Judge Dim. Okay, I read this one. Barbara Peters is in the house. Channel member, yes, we read this comment. Shout out to the lady of the night, Parati Inside, like Mgulugudu. There you go. Then we have Nkosi Lungisa Mporo. My problem with the judge, he never asked any questions or disturbed the state during witness testimony, but let the defense start all of a sudden. There's some Gulugudu. He's out there, he's jumping up and down, his shoes are pitchy. Waiter Miller says, no, they don't have a strong case in this case. It is a high profile, political, motivated to corruption. Ooh. My goodness. Next comment is, what is going to happen to the case of the 3 constables at the Henops River? I don't know, okay? We haven't heard anything after they were laid to rest. We just hope something comes up. But according to the state, they were driving, then they went into a river, and then they had funerals. That's the story they're selling us. I don't know the in-betweens. But guess who works in the technical department that could have investigated that? Oh, no. the 30-year-old brigadier. Let's not get into it. Not get into it. Queen of South Africa says, I know Rata has sealed the fate on 1, 2, and 3. It's gone. Ngumalo shouldn't have been a part of the common cause. He should have remained quiet as his name was Tilele. Shoza still has a chance to ask laid laid for a cell phone analyst. You bring up an interesting point about what have I done to my mic? I've done something. 1 second. That is such an interesting point. Very, very interesting. So interesting, I'm gonna do a separate video on it. That is common purpose. Listen, I've said it 165 times, okay? I do not know, okay? I do not know why Mapisa is in this doc. I really don't. He feels like a guest of honor. Good for him, man. He gets his time out of prison. He goes to visit him and Tulele there is accumulating his hours with legal aid to just go sit in court because there's really not much for them to do, the two of them, okay? And then I used to think that about Mapisa only. Recently, I'm also thinking the same with accused number 5. Like, what are you guys doing in this court? Like, why? So I'll just have a whole video on that because I think that we need to break that one down. And you know what? We're in recess. We've got time. We've got time to build videos from comments, okay? I used to love to do that. I used to have so much time to do that. But then the case got crazier and crazier. Thomas says, don't forget him, Uncle Tom, also drinking water from an empty glass. I remember that day. That was hilarious. That's a state of confusion, if you ask me. Please keep exposing these shenanigans in Russia's courtroom to the world. Shows the world that our beautiful country is a Mickey Mouse state. I absolutely hate it. But one thing I'm not going to do is stop. I'm going to keep on doing this. Okay. Hello. I'm Inside Parity, joining from Cape Town to Joburg on the N1. Hello. Everybody here. Hi, guys. Number 4 and 5, just there to paint a picture. Give that vava boom of 1, 2, and 3 a real encarves. I agree, right? I think they're guests. I think they're just guests of the show. Like when there's a movie and then there's a high-paid actress. I think they're the high-paid actresses, but they're really not doing anything. I mean, even on that night, can you imagine a whole Fisowaka and Chuli just sitting in his car waiting for Wangani Danzi to go do the pow activities, okay? Good evening. Channel member Quest is in the building. Guys, if you guys don't tell me, let me tell you about channel member Quest. If you guys don't tell me that you actually have channels, I don't know. So you need to make sure you let me know, okay? Somehow hint to me, I don't know how, in the comment section. You know I read every comment. Let me know. I'll give your channel a shout out if it aligns with our audience. I don't gatekeep. I love to share and shout out other channels. Absolutely free. Okay, it is free 99. Make sure you support Quest. She also has a channel over here on these YouTube streets. And I love to support other channels because when I started my channel, I didn't get a shout out from nobody. Okay, I built this from the ground up. And I think that when we support each other, when we pull each other up, we enhance the storytelling of this Nkanekwane. Okay. Queen of South Africa says, inspection in loco is on motion. The journalists will know a day before. Ooh, you seem to have inside information. Let me make sure I read this with my full attention. Inspection in loco is in motion. The journalists will know a day before with a warning not to share with the public. It's happening in the last week of recess. Okay. I love it so much. Thank you so much, Advocate Baloyi, for paying close attention to the requests of not only the court, but members of the public. We were not going to let this one go. No. Don't forget Sambo. We still want him to come back with his technical guy, whoever his name is there. Okay, we haven't forgotten. We don't forget, okay, on these YouTube streets. Now, I'm happy that we know that it's happening. For me, it's more important that it happens, that the journalists are there. I'm happy that there'll be journalists. I'm not too concerned about the public being there, and I'm okay with it not being announced to us. I really am, because It's in the interest of justice that they go. If you're there, you're there. Take some videos, share with us, okay? Give us the inside information, so that we know, did they evacuate the hostel, the hostel? Ooh, what am I seeing here? Oh my goodness, thank you. And look at that. Do you see what happens? Okay, I didn't even see that she had super thanked the channel, but I thank you so much for this generous gift. Quest, oh my goodness, thank you for supporting the channel financially. It absolutely supports the channel and the channel needs, and it goes into our Better Mic pot. Yay! Thank you so much. Raymond, okay. I have a different view about AfriForum, and I'm eager to understand more about their goals and initiatives. Specifically, I'm interested in learning about their role. Me too. You know what? We'll cover that. This episode, the Netflix series episode I watched, it made me want to understand AfriForum even better. We know AfriForum told Donald Trump that there's strange things happening here and people are very unsafe. And then 49 people got on the plane and then they went to America. And then Jiggy, Donald Trump and Elon Musk are not friends anymore. It just, and for me, it feels there's a lot of things happening in the background that we need to break down and understand what is going on. What are their motives? I think those are the right questions. I'm eager to understand more about their goals and initiatives. Specifically, I'm interested in learning about their role. 100%. Definitely that. You know what? Let's also do that in a separate video. Let me make sure I save this comment. We should do that in a separate video. Because, you know, they did some endorsing here, but then things fall apart inside this courtroom. It's not make sure no more. Or did they sell Senzo Meyiwa a dream? I don't know. I really don't know. Okay. Thank you. And Raymond also says, I think they only came on board for the Senzo Meyiwa unaliving trial for political gain. I'd like to know more about their involvement and motivations. You know what? Don't want to say this out loud. I want to, for me, my main question, I need to go back. My mind, I always need to put pieces together like a jigsaw puzzle. And I told you guys before, I play chess. So, and I'm very good at it. So my mind is very analytical and things have to make sense. So the thing that I don't have factually is, when did Senzo Meyiwa approach AfriForum? That timeline for me is key to a lot of understanding. So let's continue. Let me see which other comment there. So Gwabeni invited his cop uncle Zunizer on the day he was part. Can you imagine? You are the real MVP here. Can you imagine when you know there's this thing going down and you say, we want a cop to represent us, okay? In case we need to get out of the cop cars, we need a cop. Do you see? I like this comment. This makes a lot of sense. Can you imagine inviting cops knowing that you're about to do something? It's like the other cop there who, no, that's not a cop. I've got to call him by his title. A whole major general, okay, bringing a woman of the night. And she comes with her tools of the trade, puts something in his drink, and she leaves. And not only after they do the dance, she also makes sure she leaves with a laptop. Okay, his firearm. Why did she take the firearm? What did she need the firearm for? Does she know that firearms have license numbers? Dun. Oh, anyway, she probably had a reason for doing it. We don't know. We were not in that room. We don't know what disputes they had and why she had to take everything with her, you know? So Kwabini invited his cop uncle, Zunizer, on the day he was part of the planning of unaliving of Senzo in his own house, just for fun. This is Nganiwani. It's like a Gininda. Why can't I see the last word? Gininda's grills. Totally lost. Absolutely. Okay. AfriForum came into this picture after being invited by the Meyiwa family. Remember, this case was cold and only came to the picture. Oh, thank you. And only came to picture or reopened after AfriForum's reintroduction. Okay, okay, okay. I see you. I see you. Thank you for helping us with that one. Wow. Okay. So it was cold case, and then they said, not on my watch. AfriForum is not taking this. Let me fire all those other cops. And then while I'm firing those other cops, let me create the cold case unit led by Brigadier Wahani Nicholas Gininda, but he wasn't a brigadier then. How did he become a brigadier? Oh, wait. The FIFA kids got arrested, and then he got his badge of honor. Oops, allegedly. Okay. Putty says, my lady, have you noticed how deep Baloi's bow? Yes, I have. I have. Baloy, he really bows to my lord. Okay, he goes down, he goes under. He's almost under the desk when he's bowing to my lord. He's the only one who does it. Shalolo, if she's ever in the courtroom, trust and believe she's twiddling with her papers. She's like, I don't know my obligations to this court. I don't want to bow. I don't want to have to do it. In fact, I'm gonna be next door. Leave me out of this Mgologojo case, even though I represent Bisugukuduli since day one, the real Mkabi here. But yeah, she's gone with the wind. Manko says, there is this other bow that he did recently, and I was like, wow, I saw it. He was praying. Like that was his bow is bowing, guys. His bow bows. He goes down. I'm gonna find the clip, and I'm gonna actually know where I find it. I know it's the last day. After he was ripped apart for that, what's it called? Inspection in loco, he still bowed completely because my belief, Baloy is a player. Okay, he loves to play my lord, and he plays on my lord's memory, and he knows my lord's not going to remember. That's why he was very confident, very confident to ignore my lord's ruling. Guys, a ruling. You can't ignore a ruling. But hey, he did. Went about his way, did what he wanted, didn't even bother arranging the inspection in loco. What? But you skipped my comment. I said this is my first time being live, and I was hoping to hear. Boo, 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 boo. I didn't see the comment. I didn't skip it. That was not intentional. Don't be so hearty. But look at you. You wrote it again, and I saw it. So, and you even got the cow horn, okay? The cowbell. Okay. So let's get back to AfriForum. Okay, I'll read this last comment, and then we'll get back to AfriForum. Okay. AfriForum promised the nation. They surely did. Like, where did they have the confidence to promise an entire nation? AfriForum promised the nation a private prosecution since there was no traction on this case. Then they were served the Gininda and Valoi Chong. The rest is history. I'm with you, Paul. You are so right. They surely did, because it's incredible to me how they endorsed it, how that happened. And we need an updated version from AfriForum. Please let us know where you stand on the matter. We don't even see you in court anymore. Why is that? Why are you no longer in court? Because you're the watching brief for the Meyiwa family, which means by being a watching brief, you're inside party the court, you're watching, and then you're taking the breakdown and breaking it down for Mama Meyiwa, what happened in court, what this means, and you're representing the Meyiwa family, excluding Usfiso Meyiwa, who has, cut the tie. Okay, he's cut the umbilical cord with AfriForum because he noticed very fast. Okay, that one is a policeman. He said, something is not right with AfriForum. Something is not right. And for me, watching this, because with the Netflix documentary, it's so bad that we can't do a watch party. When you're watching it, it's not like I'm watching static photos. It's himself, Mr. AfriForum, speaking confidently. No script in front of him, saying, Gininda has done the work. Okay, he's literally saying how excited he was to work with Gininda, how excited he was to work with the new task force. The new task force? The one with Mahona? That one? The one that on the 16th of June Oh, you know what? I'm going ahead. Because I want us to get into the sketch. Let's get back into it. Have you liked this video? Please make sure you've liked this video, guys. Over 2,000 of you have joined this live today. Thank you so much. Oh my God, that puts a huge smile on me. Thank you. Okay, I want us to cruise by. Okay, let's cruise now. Let's go into gear 5 because I want us to get to the fun part. Okay, let's go. Let me see. Where did I stop? I stopped at imagine a whole Wangani Danzi analyzing Senzo Meyiwa. And his first shot in his life is so fatal. What a lucky guy. I wonder who trained him on those firearms. Okay, so anyway, so Ufi Chuli says, you know what, let's break up. And then let's go to our separate locations and then we'll meet again, okay, when we get the money, okay? They don't say where they got the money from, but when they get the money, to be paid back so we can meet again to share the spoils of our crime. I wonder, is that how Nkabis work? Okay, I don't know. I've never met Nkabi before. So the Netflix documentary goes on and says there's evidence that this particular suspect in the day that the killing happened. Okay, this is Wangani Danzi. Okay, there's evidence that this particular suspect, in the day that the unaliving happened, he knocked off from work earlier than usual, and he was absent for days. His employer confirmed that. I have to go back to the record of the court. I want to make sure what my official opinion is on that. So let's keep going, okay? Advocate AFRIFORUM says that's all you need, okay? You need one. Oh, guys, this really hurt me inside. Okay. Advocate AFRIFORUM over there says that's all you need. You need one piece of evidence. Whatever the accused revealed to them, you try to corroborate and build on it. This is exactly what Gininda has showed us that he did in court. And I think they did well, aka Gininda and friends. Okay. So the evidence that they had at the moment is that Ubongani Danzi didn't go to work. Guys, can you imagine that if you didn't go to work one day and then your employer comes to court and says, yes, you didn't go to work. And then days after that, you're absent from work. And then you're slapped with a whole charge of unaliving. Can you imagine that? Just for not going to work. Make sure you guys go to work, okay? Make sure you arrive. Make sure you stay your full work day. And then make sure you go home. Make sure people see you. Make sure people see you, that you're at work. Otherwise, one day you could be slapped with a charge. Umziliga's where Africa proceeds, and he says, the fact that there were people who came to the house is backed up by a number of witnesses. There were actually 2 young men sitting on the corner, 3 houses away from Kelly Kumalo's mom's house. One was a guy called Simpiwe Ngwenya. The other was Utabang Makelani. How many times did we hear Makelani inside that courtroom? How many times did we hear that name over and over and over again from the brigadier? How many times did we hear it? But how come we never heard it? We never heard about Osimpiwe Ngwenya's testimony. How come his testimony never comes up? That's what I want to know. How come his testimony does not come up? So the Netflix documentary revealed these guys' names before we even knew about them. And Umziligaziwe Africa, sorry about that, guys. Sometimes my tongue still thinks I'm speaking English, and then I have to tell my tongue, we're not speaking English anymore. Don't say Africa, say Africa. Don't say Simpiwe, say Simpiwe. So those are little struggles. If you guys catch me on that, just ignore it, okay? It's just my tongue playing with my brain. Okay, so this name, Simpiwe Ngwenya. Like for me, this was my first time hearing this name. It's never, ever, ever been mentioned in that court. If I was the brigadier and every time I was mentioning, oh, Makelani statement, Makelani, why is he not saying, oh, Makelani and Ngwenya? Why is he not saying them in tandem because they gave their statement at the same time. They were outside that house at the same time. They were sitting on the corner, they were sitting on the pavement 3 houses away from Kelly Kumalu's mother's house on that night, the night of the unaliving. These are the real MVPs. These are the guys who should have got state protection, These are the guys who should have been kept alive. Oops, did I say that? They should have been kept alive? Yes, you guessed it. Umzilikazi Africa says those guys described to the police what they had seen, which helped the police to build a sketch. Who is the sketch artist? You already know, Amanda, Warrant Officer Amanda Steenkamp, okay? Where exactly is Usumpiwe and Utabang now? Okay, they're 6 feet under, okay? They're no longer part of the living. They're gone. So we only have their statements to speak on their behalf. And of course, the Brigadier is more than happy to represent them. No, did I say them? No, he's only happy to represent one. I wonder what was in Simpiwe's statement that it is being ignored. And I think the defense needs to explore it, and the defense needs to put his statement as well on the record. But then no, it's incriminating their clients. Anyway, let's continue, okay? Enter the building, okay? Now Netflix brings it to the sketch artist, okay? The facial recognition expert, because we know Gininda said he's not a facial recognition expert. All he does is see with his eyes, okay? Warrant Officer Amanda Steenkamp. This is what she said. When I do the modus operandi, I will usually ask, how many suspects were there on the scene? Where were you when they entered the house? It's amazing how one's memory can remember between so many suspects and the witnesses usually, and then the witnesses gave a description of their modus operandi, what they were doing. He told me his version. She doesn't say which of the he's. So I don't know if it's Simpiwe or if it's Tabang. I'm guessing it's Makelani, okay, because he's the most famous with Gininda. He told me his version. He was sitting on the pavement near the electrical box. He mentioned that he saw an old green blue sedan. Green blue, that's a new color for us, okay? He saw an old green blue sedan near the danger box. After a few minutes, the car left, and only 3 unknown African males stayed behind. The witness, again, who's not named, later saw them running. In front was a person with dreadlocks, running with a firearm in his hand. I wish we could do an inspection in loco at night. I know, that's pretty dangerous. I wish we could do one at night. And then they should place someone with dreadlocks and make them run at night, okay? And then they should insert grills in that person's mouth. And then they should make them run. And then the court should then see if it is possible to have such detail of somebody running, especially by saying they also had a firearm. So it's the dreadlocks, the gold tooth, and the firearm. And I've tried, guys, like when you're running, are you running with your teeth out? I don't know. Like, are you running with your teeth out so that someone can say, oh, that's a gold tooth. Oh my goodness, he's running, he's got a firearm. Oh my goodness, he's also got dreadlocks. Oh my goodness, he's dark chocolate brown skin. At night? Are you for real right now? For me, that just doesn't work. And hey, AfriForum endorsed this part of the police investigatorial Dondoni led by Brigadier Gininda. So it just doesn't work for me, okay? If you guys are out at night tomorrow, okay, just look outside and see if someone is passing. Can you really see what they're wearing? Can you see their hair? Can you see their teeth? Those are the 3 pieces of thing and what's in their hand. And then they're running, okay? Then ask yourself, remember, these guys say they were seated 3 houses away from the Kumalu house, okay? And then the car came, the car that is being driven by Ufisobuhle and Chuli and Kabi, okay? If it was Fisobuhle and Chuli, the one that we see inside the court, Fisobuhle and Chuli would have eliminated the witnesses right there as the car rolled up. Why leave a witness? And then they go into the house right away and they unalive the Meyiwa, because this is a hit, right? It's not a robbery. So they unalive Senzo Robert Meyiwa, and then after that they get back and they go. It's a fast, clean in and out. But no, according to this version, they sat on the danger box. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine Kabi saying, you know what, we need a day off, we just need some time, we need to sit on a danger box. Umzilikazi where Africa goes on and says, so the young men, Utabang Makelani and Usimpiwe Ngwenya, gave police that info that they saw people running away from the house that night. But unfortunately, in my opinion, it's conveniently, okay, the two young men died mysteriously. Do you guys think these two young men are real characters? Do you think they really exist? So here's what we know from what we've covered today. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of statements that are given, and only two people in the entire street statement, okay, can describe them Gologojos, okay, accused number 2 and 3, and the firearm and the gold tooth and everything. Can you believe that this is what we have on record? It's the official record. This is the docket. And AfriForum said, oh my goodness, this is brilliant. This is fantastic. This is what we're leading with. I am so concerned, if I'm being honest. It's highly concerning, highly, highly concerning. So let me turn to the comment section. Let me see. How are we doing? What are your opinions so far? I'm actually going to pause this segment here. I've introduced the characters Osimpiwe Ngwenya and Utabang, who are deceased right now, but you know they left their mark in the world. Okay, they left a legacy for themselves. They left a modus operandi. They left an ability for Amanda Steenkamp, facial recognition expert, to draw these two African males. I'm going to say some things. I'm going to say some things on Beyonce's internet. This is not a personal attack on Amanda Steenkamp, but I'm just going to say if a facial recognition expert is a white woman and she's asked to draw black males, I'm already unsure. I am unsure her ability to be able to draw 3 African males or 5 African males, because how did she acquire the skill set to be so skilled at drawing African males and the features and then dun. Am I making sense, or am I being too racial? Are you going to label me as a racist like Rata? I don't know. That's one thing that stands out to me. Another thing that stands out to me is that AfriForum is of people who are not like you and me. Okay, if you're catching this live. And then we go back to Umpo's question, which is AfriForum promised the nation a private prosecution since there was no traction in the case. I'm reading the wrong comment. Let me find that comment. Give me one quick second, guys. Okay, this one. It's Raymond's comment, and it says, I have a different view about AfriForum, and I'm eager to understand more about their goals and initiatives. Specifically, I'm interested in learning about their roles. So I feel there's a lot for us to break down here in terms of when did they take interest in this case? What was the political climate at the time? I think we need to look at the environment and what were their goals and benefits. The reason I say that, if we look at present day climate, when this whole land and dun thing happened, did AfriForum benefit? Yes, they did. Okay, they got a whole Donald Trump to believe their story, and then they arranged a whole aircraft. Guys, do you know how much a whole aircraft costs? Ask Peggy Tele when he did that whole aircraft to go and pick up Nandi Pamagodimana and Thabo Bester from Tanzania. But guess where Tanzania is? Right here in Africa. Okay, that aircraft that went over to Washington is not cheap. It went over oceans and not rivers, oceans and seas. Okay, it went really, really far. So a lot had to be invested in that. And then, you know, in the current political climate, you already know, one of the DA guys is no longer a DA guy in the parliament. He's no longer a minister, vice minister, whatever. He's already been kicked out by Cyril Ramaphosa. Like, how dare you paint the country in such a manner? So we go back to the question: what is AfriForum's goal in the Senzo Meyiwa trial? They came, they endorsed the 5 accused, and then we've never heard from them since. Now that Gininda has been singing on the stand, he's never once mentioned AfriForum. But according to the Netflix documentary, AfriForum was doing their own investigation, and then they joined forces with Gininda's team. Mamfundisi Gininda, I don't don't know if Warrant Officer Makubo and Buthelezi were part of the team when AfriForum decided to join over. They share information, they investigate together, they do things together, and then AfriForum does a statement and endorses the arrest of the 5 accused. So, and I think at that stage, that's where they misled the nation. So before we went into the court of the SENZO MEYIWA trial, I think the people, okay, we all were very much like them. Gulagurjus must be charged. They're guilty. You already know how it goes. And then only for the witnesses to come on the stand and nothing makes sense. Like after Zumanizer, for me, it was like, what are we doing? What are we calling this? What is going on? Okay, so let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I need to take a sip of water. So. Okay, let us see what happens next. Let me go through this comment section. I'm so glad though I was able to complete everything because I digress a lot, and I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to complete this first segment of episode 5 of the Netflix series. I know, and I'm going to do it out of sequence. The reason I started with episode 5 was because of Makalani, okay, Makalani. I always mess up that name, okay? It was because of Utabang and the amount of times Gininda mentioned him and endorsed this guy, okay, from the grave, okay? He's a whole ancestor, and Gininda is speaking on his behalf and reading his statement and endorsing the dreadlocks and the gold tooth and the firearm. Because without this statement, they literally have nothing. But then it's hearsay. The guy is no longer part of the living. He cannot come and speak for himself, which then leaves Uzungunaiza. Uzungunaiza is still part of the living, but he's also very much not make sure. And then there's Absalom Zungu. Absalom Zungu was like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I have nothing to do with this. According to his conversations with Unjabs over there on Jabs Nation on TikTok. I cannot wait for more videos on that. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Drop a 6 in the comment section if you want me to continue with the series. We do our next live and we continue with the next things we discover from the Netflix documentary. And maybe I should have said this at the beginning of the live. If you haven't watched the series, then it's not a good idea. If you plan to watch it later, then this is a spoiler alert. But it's too late now. I forgot to mention that. So, again, if you were expecting the actual Netflix series, it's never going to happen. Okay, I'm never going to play it. Netflix is just gonna come down on me really hard. So let's go back to the comment section. Let me see where we are. Oh, the devil is in the detail. Blue-green sedans, grills, DNA. I'm telling you, it is incredible. And AfriForum said, yes. Longwe must not be called. He is a trap. Okay, Edwin Bata. What do you mean? Why? What is the trap? I think he's the golden goose. I think he's the golden goose. Something about him is not make sure. Why is he so heavily protected? Kelly has no protection. Okay, she was thrown to the wolves a long time ago. The text messages from Okeli. What else? There's text messages. There's the money bag, which Longwe also has, but it doesn't matter that he has it because he's the golden goose. There's the phone. There's the SIM swap. There's her runaway cell phone. Kelly is just inside Parati within, but not within the dock, and definitely not within the prison. Okay, she's out there being a sangoma. Okay. Nontwasa says, I just pray that when Longwe comes to court, he's maintained on his sober mind. I think that this is my opinion. Okay, I think that the state has done a good job of keeping him out of court. And when it's time for him to come, the defense definitely is going to call him. He's going to be heavily back on the substances. That's what I think. That's what I think. And if I was a scriptwriter in the story, that's exactly what I would do to Longwe. I'd make sure he's heavily on substances that he just sounds so disoriented in court. Okay, let me see this comment. Portfolio committee ziyakhala GNU amaphoyisa asebenza ukungcola kuyomele asheshe athathe umhlaba phansi ngoba kusazonyiwa. Oh, 100%. It's a lot. It's a lot, guys. Let's not blame AfriForum for believing in industry. No, no. We're not granting anyone grace. There's 5 people that are accused for this crime based off of 2 guys who are sitting on a pavement who are dead right now. No, let's not blame AfriForum for believing Gininda's theory. Remember, we are also, I don't know what that means. We're also SBKE to unfold and rehearse this because we are able to replay. Okay, that's fair. Okay, that is fair. That is fair. I'll allow that, my lord. So, Guinea, we're calling him Guinea now, presented his subsequents and corroborations. Okay, yeah, it is fair. In all fairness, I've watched this so many times that I can pick out the issues here. And remember, the Netflix documentary came out before court started. So all of this hasn't been ironed out. That's why some of the things are inconsistent. It's weird. We actually get to see Gininda's face. He runs away from the camera, guys. He does not want to be, when the camera comes, he runs away. Like, he's very good at running away from the camera. And then we also see Amanda. I think she's sweet, to be honest. I don't know if I'm biased. I think she's sweet. I just think that if I was inside the South African Police Services and I needed somebody to draw an African male, I would approach an African facial recognition expert. That's just me. I don't know if I'm biased. I could go on and on this topic, but you know, some things I don't want to leave on the internet. Yeah, I could go on and on about it. And no offense to her, I just don't think. Yeah, no. I don't think so. I would want an African male to draw an African male, take the features and draw. That's just my opinion. So with YouTube, we have what is called Dream Screen or Dream something. Can't remember it right now. And I can literally type, okay? If you see, there's a time I posted a photo of a guy. I think I have a video. I think it's a short of a guy with locks. I gave YouTube that instruction. I said, draw an African black male with short locks, dark brown, shiny skin, exactly the way it was on the statement, okay? And with gold tooth and and it can spit out because it's AI, okay? It can learn and it can draw. And then if I'll say no, make the cheeks fatter, and then it will draw again. That's AI. It's machine learning. Amanda drew that in 2014. There was no AI then. What was aiding her to do this? And actually, in the Netflix docuseries, you actually see her get to do it. And she's doing this. You actually see her draft, put on the hat, put on the locks as she's drafting the sketch of hers. And for me, it's, yeah, it's just not Rachel. It's just not Rachel. So yeah, that's it. That is it from me. Let me see this comment. I'm currently watching a documentary and chatting with you. I just saw Longway on walking sticks and limping on the screen. That's not Longway. That is Tumelo Majala. The documentary is quite engaging and I'm finding it interesting to learn more. Yes, watch the documentary, guys. If you haven't already caught it, watch it. And then when we do our next live, which is not going to be tomorrow, we're going to skip tomorrow. We'll probably do Sunday, the next one. My schedule tomorrow is jam-packed. Let me put it in full context, my lord. Because context is very important. Wait, let me look at the time. Okay, context is important. So I had already scheduled another live in case we didn't finish, but we're not going to do the follow-up live because I completed this part 1. I'm so excited. Irene Zulu is in the building. Thank you so much. She says 6. So we'll continue. Is she the only one who wants us to continue? So make sure you drop a like. I'm about to sign out. You guys know my software, I need to keep my lives less than 2 hours. Otherwise, everything I'd have to do manually. So thank you so much. I'm going to end it right here. I'm just going to do a quick scan. Make sure I didn't skip any other comments. But you skipped my comment. I'm going to find your comment, okay? There's this other bow. Oh, bow. I think I read this comment. There's your comment there, okay? It's even on the screen now. First time live. Let's go. I think I'm up to date on comments. I'm so happy. Okay, sometimes I get really distracted. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let me see the poll. How did we do on this poll? How do I check the poll? Okay. Guys, should I keep the poll going or should I end it? Have you watched the Netflix docuseries SENZO, the unaliving of a soccer star? 31% of you have watched it and 69% of you have not. So this definitely gives me, and 327 of you guys voted. Wow, you guys, thank you. Ooh. This is so exciting. I love it when you guys engage with the channel. I love it when you guys like videos. I love it when you guys share the videos. By the way, YouTube tells me all these things. Did you guys know? Yeah, I know. I know how many comments I get. You know, in the comments, I've got no complaints. If there's one thing you guys love to do is to express yourselves. And I love it. This is a safe space as long as we're respectful of each other and each other's opinions. We don't always have to agree, but I just ask that we remain respectful amongst ourselves. And that's it. I think let's end it here. Let's not drag this out. And then I'll come back Sunday. We'll continue with the rest of the series. I'll drop a notification ahead of time. And I'll maybe do some highlights from this live, some key pointers. That is it from me. This is our discussion on AFRIFORUM. AFRIFORUM, Gininda, Makelani, who else? Amanda Steenkamp. Those are the key characters we covered. Oh no, did I forget? Yeah, no, I did mention AFRIFORUM. And I'm just going to do some research. There's some research pieces I need to figure out. I need to figure out when AFRIFORUM started representing the Meyiwa family and where are they now? Where have they gone? What's their current status? We need to hear from them. They can't just come and say we endorse everything that the police have put forward and then disappear into their biscuits. Like, wow. That's it from me today. If you've made it this far in the video, you absolutely have my heart. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to go ahead and hit that subscription button. It matters. It means so much to me personally. And hit that like button before you exit the building. You only have to like a video once. It's a one-off activity. You hit that like button and it helps tell YouTube that this was a great video. Come on over, everybody. Come hear what Mzansi Unfiltered had to say about AFRIFORUM. And this is me signing out. Let me play you a clip as we head out. What shall we play? What shall we play, ladies? I'm going to play Mzansi Meyiwa.
Closer to finding the answers.
Yeah. Iqiniso lizovela ujaji lo khona uyamthemba since ngalandela ama cases abewenza ngawabona ukuthi wawudila kanjani nawo umuntu ongayithathi nonsense umuntu straightforward ubaba decent ijustice yakho ukuthi izokwenzeka looking forward.
So you also believe that that could have been planted there?
Noma kanjani yaplantwa mfethu lo wathi wayibona uyena wafika nayo lo project time.
So what do you think happened?
Mfethu ulongo wafika nesibhamu lapha ulongo wafika nasibhamu wafika ediniwe bakusho lokho ulongo wafika ediniwe wabingelelanga umuntu engena la ediniwe ukuthi uZandi wayekade ngamtholi and the day before uZandi walala ngithi kaKheli kwalala uZandi nomthoko noSenzo noKheli babelele ndawonye and lo ngwafika lapho wabona ukuthi awukhona amajita komjito khona la umuntu wama ngimtholi wafika ngalo langa ebusuku aphinde wahamba wabona khona abantu abawuthuthula amajita uSenzo noKelly ushudo umthoko noZandi uvela ibaselekile ubuya ngakusasa nje vele udiniwe uthi kushuthi awenziwe ibhari yena umuntu wakho uyaxhoshwa kushuthi khona umshayashaya uSenzo umfakele kushuthi umjita wakho osedebhen isuka lapho-ke leyo nto isuka ngokuthi le mjita wayidiniwe waxabana nalo nomuntu wakhe kuZandi kanti bexabana kwasuka umsindo donsa isibhamu nomjita ngoba inhlamvu yokuqala yaqhuma yashaya phansi yazolimaza uZandi lo usuka lapho ukhixixi kubanja isibhamu ukuthi kwenza kanjani kudonseka itrigger iyona into efanele iyochazwa ngoba sasingasaphethe wena kuphela kwasekubanga.
So are you saying that you don't believe what they are saying in court?
Ayikho ngoba le besho ayikho mina ngathi ngifike eGoli ngatshelwa enye indoda abanye abantu statement sami sikhona ngikhuluma into statement sami sikhona ecourt basazongibiza omunye uyikhulu naye shuthi oba involved ekutheni istory fanele simiswe kanjani bathi ndodana batlalela la ngikutshela lento ekhulunywayo lo izikhulunywa ukuthi ngene igebengu lapha ayikho lo nto ndodana wenzela imedia usenze ubethandwa abantu kakhulu wenzela ukuthi umsindo ungasuki eSouth Africa into eyenzekile nje udubuleke elamula uZandi nesoka lapha ixatshwana ongitshela kanje lo muntu wakhuluma nalabo abasendlini bayazi omunye umuntu omkhulu naye wayekhona ukukhulunywa le ebikelwa nangalo daba usewenzekile.
Okay. Before we head out, I just noticed there's this new stat. So I'm just gonna shout out Docus, Quest, and Unkosilungi thank you for being the top 3 in the chat. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I absolutely love it. Shout out as well to Utulani Ngubane, Queen of Africa, Umpondla, Butsotando, Nombulelo, Mami. Guys, if you don't chat, I don't see you. I always tell you guys this, that it's always a good idea, to chat, so that we get to see. So these are the guys who are showing up as the top 10 for supporting the channel. Thank you so much. I absolutely love it. For us, I'll catch you on my next upload. I'm going to end the live stream right here and actually listening to, every time you listen to something over and over again, Mzansi Unfiltered said something and I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, that is so interesting. Grace says, I believe the Netflix has to pay the Meyiwa family. Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that in another life. Okay, let's end it right here. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on my next upload. Bye, guys. Bye.